Steve's putting a coat of stone chip on the underside of the floor. Top show cars tend to avoid this and just show off the paint job, but Steve doesn't intend to just cart his bug around on a trailer.
We want to be able to use it on the road, and it's a sort of rubbery compound, so the chip will basically bounce off it and it won't start rusting.
For the bodywork, Charlie applies a black base coat.
The whole sort of colour scheme of the car is basically going to be this blue and black. The interior is black leather. Not 100% sure on what we're going to do with the headlining yet, whether we're going to go with black or the standard sort of cream or off-white. Don't have to decide that just yet. I think we've got to get the colour of the car right first.
Finally, Steve applies a couple of coats of silver paint and lacquer. Even though most of it will be hidden, this paint costs the same as that used on the shell, although given the circumstances, Steve has opted for a less toxic variety.
Still wearing a mask, but it's not air-fed. And I'll just sort of go in, spray a bit and come back out.
After 3 coats of black, it's time for the final electric blue top coat.
They don't want to go with the flip tone now, because of the price, because it's about 300 quid a litre, so they want the blue, so let them have the blue now. I think it's about £34 a litre, so it's a hell of a difference, isn't it?
It's not just the budget that has dictated the final finish.
This is going to be a modern style Beetle, so we're doing it in a modern sort of metallic colour.
With the temperatures hitting 30, the chassis is baked in no time, and Steve's pleased with his day's work.
Yeah, it's come out reasonably okay, and even though we're doing it outside in a tent, there's no dead flies in it. It's all to do with time, really. You could spend 2 or 3 weeks just doing that floor pan.
A few days later, and the boys have received a call from Charlie saying the shell is ready for collection. They'll finally get to see if one of their most important decisions has been the right one.
Charlie? Hello, mate.
How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Well, there it is.
Wow, that is cool.
That is absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Yes.
That is cool.
That is exactly how I wanted it.
Yeah.
All that's left for Charlie now are the doors, wings and bonnet.
Well, I did ask them, I did say to them, have you tried other doors? And they says, yeah, they fit, but I learned it all before, so my job now is just to straighten them, paint them, and it's their job to fit them, and good luck to them.
Charlie's done us proud, yeah, definitely.
We're just going to make sure we don't scratch it. We're putting it back together.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Charlie, you got any of the paint left over? Just in case we need to bring it down for a couple of little touch-ups.
The lads have done well to get to this stage in just over 4 months. Unfortunately, it's time to accept that with only a few weeks left before Le Bug Show in Belgium, they'll have to move their deadline.
Realistically, we're not going to be able to make Spa. We've got a couple of weeks.
We're a bit down about that, but we've had a talk about it, and we think that we should aim for something a bit different, because there's no point in taking something to a show like that that's half done. Fanfest, that's another week or so after that.
The summer is coming to an end, and there are only a few big show dates left on the calendar.
We're rapidly running out of decent shows to go to, and we don't want to carry this on over the winter and sort of show it next year, because that's not the idea of the project.
I don't know if a week's going to be long enough.
We need to shake it down and everything.
Pretty down about it, I think. It was such a big thing in the head, and it was kind of a bit sort of glamorous going over there, and you know how it already was so good, and then to miss that, I think.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think sort of like, particularly as it was a European show and they've gone for a very Euro look car.
The lads had the Euro scene in mind when they came up with the concept, and their bug may not be so well received on the UK circuit.
Brighton Breeze, never done Brighton Breeze before, but apparently it's quite good.
Could do.
They've no option but to aim for the last big show of the summer, the Brighton Breeze, but this new deadline will still require a huge amount of effort.
All the way to Brighton, is it going to make it? And that being its maiden voyage.
It gives us an extra month.
Is another few weeks enough? Time will tell, but I don't think so.
We might have to be nice to them for a few days though.
Yeah, probably.
V-dub specialist Lee Southerton has answered an SOS and has come to help Steve with a couple of tricky jobs on the rebuild. He's had his doubts about the project, particularly as it's an unfashionable 1302.
Give us a look then. From what it was, it looks $1 million. It really, really does. Quite daring, really. Most people would just turn their nose up and, oh, not a 1302 or a 1303.
Lee's brought his mate Darren down to muck in. He also had his doubts when he first saw the car.
He's got better on his scrap heap. And when I came in here this morning and seen it, I thought it was a completely different body shell. It's just been totally transformed. It's amazing. It really is good.
Both have been impressed by Steve's handiwork, which has gone beyond that of an amateur.
As I've known Steve not too long, he's come on leaps and bounds, to be honest. So if we've got pedal assembly, master cylinder, all the brake lines in and the back brakes on today, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The car has a bigger engine than before, so the boys wanted to run discs instead of drums. But aftermarket disc kits cost around 600 quid, so Lee's come up with a cheaper solution. He's put together a new system that's a mix of custom-made parts like these brackets and off-the-shelf items. The calipers are off a new Beetle and have been adapted to fit. The whole lot will cost the lads less than half the shop price.
The beauty of restoring a VW Beetle is that the body shell actually comes off the chassis. So while it's off, if you can take advantage of changing all pipes, rubbers, joints, it's so much easier than lying on your back.
It's another reason why restoring Beetles has become so popular, but a rear engine car brings its own problems. This clutch cable needs to be run through the length of the chassis. And the gearbox is situated under the engine, so any problems and the whole lot will need to come out.
Could be a potential issue. We haven't actually driven it. It's the original box that came with the car. Don't really know 100% that it'll be okay.
Almost every facet of this build needs careful consideration. Even the decision on what wheels to have was based on more than just looks.
We had to have it under standard wings. We haven't got the budget for the widened wings. We didn't particularly like the look of them. We tried them on Rich's the other day and spot on fit.
The boys have strived to be different. These are aftermarket Audi wheels and the new discs have been adapted to fit, so they'll be unique to this car.
Did you choose it?
No, I didn't. I don't think I could have chose a better wheel for it, to be honest. That's what I'd have gone for.
Ready?
Yeah.
With the back wheels on, the boys temporarily fit the body. Later this will be glued and bolted, but Lee wants to see how the car looks before he goes.
She's on. Them two holes are lined up here at the front virtually, mate.
And wheels look the
Everything looks great, but the ride height will need some adjusting.
It does look like a four-wheel drive.
Yeah.
How cool it looks with the calipers through the wheels, though,
Yeah.
guys.
But it shows off the discs and that, but it's not too in your face.
It's just right, mate.
Yeah.
The Bug now has the cool, modern look the boys were after, but will it be too radical for the current scene?
To most VW people, this wouldn't be a cool wheel. The VW scene are very stuck in their ways of having MPs or BRM wheels, which are simple go and buy off the shelf and bolt on, which Steve didn't really want to do. He wanted something that was a little bit more difficult, show a little bit more work in the car, and that's what he's achieved. He really has.
Next time, the lads call in the troops.
Another couple of days and it could literally be ready to drive.
But with the new deadline just weeks away, will they ever get their Bug on the road?
No, it's just not moving at all.